Ooh, we just exposed ourselves.
There, which was
He
good.
was doing, yeah, I was like, Crystal, vocals. You can't give a
I
thumbs
for
up. The
I for
listeners don't hear the thumbs up.
I forget that this is a podcast.
Yeah, thank you for asking. Well, I don't know why I said that.
It's like, thank you for joining me on my podcast today.
What's up, spammers? Welcome back to the podcast. We're your hosts, Nayla and Crystal. And today we're going to have a bit of a serious discussion about our fitness journeys. But we wanted to start off with a little bit of conversation, not get too deep so soon. Recently, we had a birthday pass literally yesterday. Happy birthday,
Oh,
Crystal.
who's? Oh, thank you, thank you. It's
And
insane. I always feel like whenever I turn another year, I that's like a year I take off. So whenever somebody asks me like how old I am, I'll be like, "Oh, I'm 22," instead of me saying my actual age, which
honestly,
is 26.
no, as you should.
Yeah, they don't
But
have to
who
know.
cares? Who cares?
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, yesterday was my birthday, and my sister took me out to eat, and I decided to go try Indian food because I had never been. I have never tried. And Nyla told me I should try it out. She suggested I try out the garlic. No, sorry, I keep calling it garlic chicken. Butter chicken.
Butter chicken, garlic naan.
Yes. Garlic naan. Oh, garlic naan is so good. I vlogged it and you can see my reaction to the garlic naan. It's oh so delicioso. And everything was so good, Nyla. Everything. The chicken dissolved in my mouth so perfectly. Like this for my butter chicken, they had like different levels of spicy that you could get. It was like
Ooh.
I think 1 through 5, and I got 2 because I thought it was gonna be really spicy, and I got scared, but it was not spicy at all. So I'll have to go again and like try another level.
You're like, gotta level up every single time you go.
Yes. And then we also tried it was like a plate. It's the mix, not me having the menu pulled up because I don't remember the names. It's the mixed grill non-veg platter. It had a combination of chicken tikka,
Oh, you had
tandoori
regular
chicken.
chicken tikka. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that how you pronounce it? Tandoori?
Yeah, tandoori.
Tandoori
Yeah.
chicken. It had shrimp, which I did not eat. My sister ate that.
Oh, yeah, you're
And
not a seafood fan.
mm-mm, I don't do fish. To me, it just tastes fishy. And I'm like, this is sus. And Malay kebab.
Hmm.
So yeah, everything was so good though. I loved I don't know which one it was, but it was like a green colored chicken. And
That was probably flavored with cilantro, I'm assuming.
okay, it probably
Yeah.
was, but it was so good. So good. And then I got a drink that was like a mango slushy. So good. I shamelessly they gave us little to-go containers for the butter chicken so I could put it in there. And I mean, I finished my butter chicken, but I had the container, so I was like, should I pour my drink in there? And I poured it in there and I walked out with it. I'm pretty sure the guy saw me, but I don't care because it was so good.
No, as I said, as you should. Who cares if they see it or not? I mean, you paid for it. You should be able to finish it.
True.
Yep.
True. And you know what? Honestly, I did feel a little rushed. Like they wanted us to leave. So I was like, I'm finishing
Oh
my
yeah.
drink. Take the to go.
That's just like I feel like that's a common thing with Indian restaurants where they're just very fast with service.
Oh, is it? Yeah, because
I
they
mean,
were
I
really
feel like
fast.
it, yeah.
Yeah. Like we got seated right away. We got our food right away. Everyone was so nice. It was just like towards the end, they were like, would you like a to-go container? And our plates were still full. And I was like, oh yeah, I
Yeah, you guys
guess.
are like taking your time to eat and they're like, you ready to go?
Yeah. Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm on this journey to try new foods. So if anyone has
Yeah.
any recommendations, let me know.
I'm glad you really liked it. I had a feeling. I was like, I mean, we talked about it, but our
Hmm.
cuisines are very similar in spices.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I said was that it's very comparable to a lot of the foods we eat, like
Mhm.
the traditional Mexican foods. Like the butter chicken reminded me of mole. I don't know if you ever had mole.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, it reminded me kind of of that. Like they're both obviously very different, but it just kind
Flavor
of reminded me of
profiles,
it.
but like texture.
Yeah. And
Mm,
then the garlic naan is very much like a tortilla, but it's like softer.
yeah.
And like I love the little pieces of garlic in there. So it was really good.
Yeah. I'm so basic when it comes to, I'm like butter chicken, garlic naan. It's all you need.
Yeah. No, so good. And then they had some rice that you could put on it too. I think it was
Mhm.
maybe jasmine rice, or I
It
don't
is
know if
usually jasmine or basmati.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything was so good. Loved it. 5 stars.
Yay.
Yay. Go me getting over my picky eaterness. Woo.
I know that too.
Mm-hmm. Proud
Branching
of
out,
myself.
trying new things.
Yeah. Turned 26. I'm a brand new woman.
This is good. I think this is good because
Mm-hmm.
I personally believe that food is one of the best things in the world. And the fact that we have so many different foods to try, so many different flavors, like there's so many things, so many different cuisines. Food is
Yes.
it's such a crucial part of life.
It really is. But speaking of food, let's get into today's topic, which is talking about our fitness journeys. And I feel like food is something that has impacted, well, not to speak for you, but it definitely has impacted me. And so, I mean, we can just jump right in.
Quick disclaimer, we just want to say with this topic, there are a lot of things that are different between both Crystal and I's journeys, but there are also things that are the same. So if it ever seems like we are maybe speaking for one another, if we don't correct each other, then it's probably true. You know, we
Yeah.
have so many crossovers, so many similarities in our journeys. So I feel like there's a lot of topics where we'll feel the same.
Yes. Yes. Good disclaimer.
Yeah.
But Nyla, I wanted to know what was it that caused you to get into your fitness journey?
Yeah. Thank you for asking.
It's
Well, I don't know why I said that.
like, thank you for joining me on my podcast today.
Yeah, thank you for having me today, Crystal.
Yes.
Um,
Welcome to this Nyla interview.
so how I started with my fitness journey, I think, and this is something that I feel like you may also have gone through, but I have tried going on a fitness journey most of my life. I
Mm,
have always been chubby. I was never really skinny. We talked about this in the Duff episode, so go back to episode 1 if you'd like to know a little bit about that. But
yes.
I always was chubby. I was the chubby one in my family. I always had weight on me. I was never very petite or small. And I knew that with clothes shopping too. Like I would always have to buy not the smallest size on the rack, but like one of the larger sizes. And so growing up with that mindset and having family members that also comment on your weight all the time and knowing that other people have this perception of your body and they have this view of how you live your lifestyle and feel the need to comment, which we'll get into all of this. But basically, I had always tried to pursue some type of fitness journey. I had always tried to pursue some type of weight loss. I would go to the gym and work out extra hard. I would try extra hard in PE, even though I can't run. And I still, to this day, don't think I will ever run. I'm not a runner. I'm not a track star. I'm sorry.
Now we're
Um,
running that track star.
yeah. And so I had tried my fitness journey for a very long time. 2020 was a really hard year.
Mm,
2020 I was working out before that and it wasn't as consistent as I could have been, but
hmm.
I was still trying. And then 2020, I think everyone feels very similar. The COVID-19 pandemic literally put on weight. I wasn't eating as well. I wasn't really working out as much. And so my fitness journey like completely came to a halt and I had become almost 200 pounds. Um, and one day I just started crying. I had
Mm,
a full-blown breakdown and I couldn't believe what my body had gotten to.
hmm.
And I think you also felt something similar where a lot of my weight was in my top half of my body.
The
And
chest
so,
area.
yeah. And so because my chest was so big, I felt like I couldn't breathe when I was sleeping.
Hmm.
And that's what this is completely like a little side fun fact. But when Crystal said that in her fitness weight loss video, which was one of the first videos I ever saw, that was when I was like, I want to be her friend because that's
Oh,
what I experienced. And
Yeah.
so after coming to that realization, having that complete breakdown, I went to my mom, and my mom has known about my like struggles with weight loss my entire life. And she helped me. She really was there for me, and she, pushed me to do what I wanted to do on my own time. She never said anything about what I was doing and how I was doing it. I just like would ask her to help me with meals because she cooks more than I do. I live with her, so she cooks most of the meals. And so I would ask her like, can you start making like these healthier meals or give me other options? I can even be there with you and like help make these meals. And then I just started working out on my own. I just kind of started doing it, and then consistency is key. And so now it's been almost 2 years of consistently working out. I want to say 4 to 6 days a week, sometimes 7. Um, and I think we will talk about it more. The consistency is what really got me there, but that breaking point, I was like, this is it. Like, I have to
Yeah.
change my life. And that's the other thing. I changed my life. I
Hmm.
wasn't just trying to lose weight. I had to change my mindset in that moment and just tell myself, this isn't temporary. This
Yeah.
isn't just I'm going on this fitness journey, I'm gonna work out, and then when I lose all the weight, that's it.
Hmm.
Like, I had told myself repeatedly, this is the rest of my life. I'm
Yes.
being healthy for me so I can live a
Yes.
better life.
Yes. Which I think a lot of people don't really understand until they get into their fitness journey, and maybe once they reach their goal, is that once you do reach your goal, you have to keep going. Like, it's not just you reach your goal, you're done. It's like you have to keep it up for the rest of your life. But yes, that's actually very similar to how my fitness journey was. So for me growing up, I feel like I actually wasn't always overweight. I don't think I really started gaining weight until high school. Like, as a kid, I wasn't overweight or anything. I did, however, think I was overweight. I think it's just the whole like media thing, and you see other girls that are like stick thin and you're like, "Oh, I'm not skinny like them." But I also don't look like them, and it makes you kind of, it fills you up with self-doubt. And so looking back at pictures of me when I was little, I was like, oh, I was so not overweight. But yet I remember thinking I was overweight. Like, I remember like being little and like looking in the mirror and sticking my stomach out and being like, oh, I'm so fat, for lack of a better word. And so, but until high school, that's when I really started gaining weight. I think because that's when my anxiety peaked. I've always been a very anxious person, but it wasn't until my anxiety was really triggered that I started having like panic attacks and stuff that I was resulting to food. And then that's when I started to gain weight because I turned to food. I'm like what's it? Like a nervous eater.
Mhm.
And I also like I binge eat a lot and stuff. And so it just became really easy for me to fill that void with food. And, with high school in senior year, you're going to go to college. It's coming up real soon. So you're basically transitioning from being a kid to now you have to decide your entire life. Or at least it feels that way, because that's
It's a
how
lot
school
of
makes
stress.
you feel. Yeah. I mean, as soon as you enter into freshman year, they get you started on the whole thinking about where you're going to go to college, what you're going to do. And so all of that was just kind of really getting to me. And then I was so set on going to university because I thought that if you went to college or community college, it was kind of like pointless, like who goes to community college sort of thing. So I was like, I have to go to university. But yet I was also really scared to go to university. And so that was like an emotion I was bottling up and I didn't really want to face it. Like, I was just trying to avoid those feelings and be like, oh, I'm going to go to university no matter what. Like, there's no other option. But then I started looking into community college and then I felt a little bit better. So I kind of calmed down a bit. But then I went to community college and I lived on campus. I lived in the dorms. And while the community college is not far away from my house, it was like at most like a 30-minute drive. But I have separation anxiety. And so that just like leaving home shook me to my core. And so the freshman 15 is so real.
It's so
So real.
real.
Hmm. I think it's like because you're going from like having home cooked meals to like a bunch of junk food or like trying to cram in a cookie before your class. There's Starbucks on campus and it's very unhealthy food. And so and you end up wasting a lot of time with friends. I mean, not wasting because it's good to have people, to go to, but you're not really prioritizing the gym your freshman year. You're out hanging out with friends or you're going to parties, stuff like that. So
You're not
freshman
cooking.
15, yeah, the freshman 15 hit me hard, but I don't even think I did freshman 15. I think I did like freshman 25. But yeah, that was kind of like where it started to like progress. And then after college, I had that moment where I was laying in my bed and I felt like I couldn't breathe. I remember getting like really tired and I was like, I need to change this or like it's not going to be a good thing. I'm going to have a bunch of health problems. Also, diabetes is very like common in my family. And so that also scared me. And I was like, okay, it might be inevitable, but if I can slow it down, that'll be a good thing. So that's when I was like, okay, I got to get serious here. And that's when I started on my fitness journey. And also, if you want like a more backstory, you can always go watch my video because you guys know this memory. It
We're
don't
gonna
work.
link that in the description of the YouTube channel because that video is what brought Crystal and I together, essentially. So we're
Yes.
gonna link that. Also, similar to you, my family has health problems, diabetes, cholesterol,
Mm-hmm.
high blood pressure. It all runs in my family. And that terrified me also,
Mm-hmm.
along with the fact that I literally could not breathe. I
Yeah.
don't know if you experienced this, but did you ever have to do something physical, like walk upstairs, and then you would get out of breath and it would just remind you of how unfit you were?
Yes, that. Oh my God. So the college campus that we went to is a fairly small campus, but one of the buildings had, or a couple of the buildings had stairs. And I remember like every time I had to go up those stairs, I would just have to like stand at the very top and catch my breath and pray to God that nobody I knew came to talk to me right now because I would have to like pretend I could breathe normally, but I was dying on the inside. But yeah,
I'm
no, like
glad.
stairs were not my best friend.
I'm glad that's a mutual experience.
Yes. Um, but I did also want to ask you, once you did get started on your fitness journey, what would you say was the hardest thing to realize? Or like what was the hardest thing I guess you encountered, the hardest obstacle you faced?
Well, that's a tough question.
Right?
It was coming to term with the fact that moderation exists. And so if you're 80% of the time eating healthy or eating your best, and then
Hmm.
20% of the time you're indulging, it's still okay.
Yeah,
Um,
that balance.
yeah, I think it was the guilt of eating unhealthy that was the
Hmm.
hardest thing to overcome.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. I agree with that. I think for me, it was the same with that, but also it was like that realization of how unfit I was.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, before you really start on a fitness journey, you kind of justify a lot of your actions. So, like for me, the binge eating, it was like,
Stress.
oh, yeah, it was just like that stress and I would like overeat and stuff, but I would justify it. And I was like, no, no, it's okay. I'm, as long as I'm eating, that's fine, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
You're
then
eating something, you're fueling your body. You would come up with like excuses essentially.
excuses, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, which I should clarify that it's not bad, going back to like, that whole balance thing. It's just the amount of it that you eat. And so, having that cookie wasn't bad for me. It was just I would have like two, three
Mm-hmm.
cookies. And so I wasn't really in that moderation mindset yet. But when I started to try to lose weight, and then I also wanted to obviously get, some workouts in because I feel like you can lose a lot of weight with eating, but it's going to be a bit of a slower process. And so I wanted to kind of speed up the process a bit and make sure that I'm trying to eat better, but also working out. And so at first, starting to work out, that's when I could feel myself being overweight because it hit me, like I couldn't really do a jumping jack without getting out of breath. I couldn't really do a push up. I even just like the easiest, most simplest movements I couldn't do. And so it was a big struggle. And I feel like it made me want to give up because I'm
Mhm.
like, this is going to be pointless. But it's obviously not pointless. You have to start somewhere and you're going to struggle at the beginning. But as long as you keep going, as long as you keep being consistent, like eventually it will get easier.
I have a
But
question for you then.
mm,
So when you had started the journey that switch that flipped,
mhm.
was that your first time working out that heavily or that intensely?
uh no. So like your journey as well. Like I had tried multiple times before to try to lose weight. Like I mean, in my teen years, even when I wasn't like really overweight, I still always thought I had to be on a diet. I thought I always had to work out because of like, I mean, for us in like the Mexican culture, diet culture is like a really big thing. And you'll have your aunts telling you, or even like your parents telling you, like, oh, you should drink this tea because it's going to help you lose weight. Oh, you should eat this meal plan because it's going to help you lose weight. And I feel like that gives you that mentality that you have to lose weight. Also, another thing that was really big for us is every new year, everyone's goal was to lose weight. And they would be like, we should do challenges and see who loses the most weight. And that also gave me that mentality like, oh, I have to lose weight. Even if I'm not overweight, I have to lose weight because it's what everyone else is doing. It's what's normal. And I see you smiling. Do you guys have something similar?
I was gonna say the way that triggered me so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, very similar thing in our culture where losing weight was just a big deal. Everyone would
Hmm.
try to lose weight every New Year's. That definitely happened. Diet culture is such a big that's all they talk about. And
Right.
I don't know if we're gonna talk about diet culture in this episode.
Yeah, that's probably a whole different topic we can get into as well. And it's its own thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, back to your question about the whole weight loss or working out thing. So I had tried multiple times to get on a fitness journey, but I was never able to stay consistent with it. I think maybe it goes with that whole justification thing that I was just justifying myself for a long time. And because it was hard, I don't think I was mentally able to justify how hard it would be because it was so easy for me to justify overeating, but I could not justify struggling for 15 minutes working out, which that's going to benefit me a lot more than, the overeating, but
Mhm.
I was just not in the right mentality. And so I think it wasn't until that like switch flipped until I really started to feel my body suffering. That was when I was able to keep going even though it was hard. But what about you? Like what was it that I guess was like that flip of the switch that I mean, I know you said that it was, your body like
Mhm.
was feeling it, but was there anything else that kind of like
This
triggered
is
that?
okay. This is a proud moment for me
Mhm.
because again, with the whole family thing and growing up a little bit heavier, I similar to you, I wasn't that heavy, but I was
Mhm.
just not, society standard. I wasn't similar to my cousins. My cousins are all very fit. And so I wasn't even that heavy. But because I had
Mhm.
heard it so much, every time in the past that I felt like I went on some type of even journey, it was for the fact that I just wanted to prove my family wrong.
Mhm.
This was the first time it was for me.
Hmm.
It was such a proud moment because I wanted to change my life for me. I wanted to eat more consistently for myself. I wanted to work out for myself. I wanted to become stronger, all for me. It was for no one else. And once I had that in my head that it was for me, I think that's what pushed me to keep going.
Yes. Oh my gosh, so perfectly said. That's what it was for me too. And it was like the same as you, every single time I think I started wanting to lose weight, it was to look better in society's terms, to stop hearing it from my aunts and uncles that I
Mhm.
was overweight,
Mhm.
and just it was for everyone else but me. And I think that's what made it so hard was that I'm going to put myself through something and it's not for me, sort
Yeah.
of thing. So it wasn't until that mindset switch that this is for me. Like, even if I lose weight and these people start telling me I look better, I don't care because this journey is for me. And that's,
Mhm.
yep, you said that so perfectly.
Yeah, and I mean this we can kind of get into that a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
ever since going on the weight loss journey, I have heard from family members trying to say things to me that could
Mm-hmm.
hurt me. It could hurt me and damage me a lot, but because I have that mindset of this is for me, what they say doesn't matter at all, it has
Yes.
pushed me through. It hasn't caused any setbacks, which is why I
Yes.
think it's stuck so hard, knowing it's
Mm-hmm.
like, it's for me. There's nothing else.
Mm-hmm. That's a whole different journey. Like doing it for you versus doing it for other people, it's a whole different ball game. And it's like you're more likely to stick to something when you realize like the real reason behind it, like the real reason why you're losing weight. And boy, let me just tell you, when I was heavy, when I was at my heaviest and overweight, I would hear it from my aunts, my uncles, cousins, strangers, everyone. They would always tell me that I was overweight, that I should start losing weight, all of the negatives. Once I started losing weight and I stuck to this journey and I was at my lightest weight I had ever been, all of a sudden, I started to hear, don't lose any more weight or you're going to disappear. I'm like, bro, what? Pick one.
Pick one. Yeah, when once you lose weight, and then
Mm-hmm.
I think there's certain ways that they can approach the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had some family members who've approached me and have said really kind things, like
Mm-hmm.
you're working so hard and we can
Mm-hmm.
tell. Things like
Yeah.
that. Where I'm like, that makes me feel so good.
Yeah.
Then I have other family members who try and tell me I look prettier now than
Yeah.
when I did before.
It's the tone. It's like whether they're being nice about it or if they're saying it in a condescending way.
Yeah.
And it's a
And it's just
huge
like, are you
difference.
projecting? That's a whole other thing. Are you projecting?
Yeah, bro. No, that is for sure. Like, cause I one comment that stuck with me forever. It was not what like helped me get on a weight loss journey or anything, but it just
It's stuck.
yeah, the way that could have led to something horrible
Mhm.
though was I had a cousin. Just keep in mind, like this person is not the skinniest person in the world. And they had the audacity to tell me that I should get on a weight loss journey, that I should start going to the gym, I should start eating better. And I was like, how dare you? How dare you say something like that? And this same person, the only reason that they lost weight was because they got surgery.
Mhm.
Like, there's nothing wrong with getting surgery. It's
If
just
that's what
like,
you wanna do, yeah.
yeah, but why project onto other people your own insecurities when you know how hard it is? Like, you should be able to understand. And then, oh, I don't know, man. It's like, I could go on forever with that, but I also don't want to like offend anyone. So I'm like, hold back, Crystal.
Hold it back. I mean, but
Yeah.
it's true. So, I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I'm sorry that you had to
Mm-hmm.
hear that. But again, that family member who told me I look prettier now, it's that statement has stuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
That was earlier this year. It has stuck with me for months now. I think about that statement a little more than I should.
Yeah.
Um, Only because one was that family member projecting that because they had recently also lost weight,
Mm-hmm.
were they trying to project that they think they're prettier now
Yeah.
than how
Onto
they looked
you.
before, and they're projecting it onto me?
Yeah.
Because what I think about, and this is going into some deep stuff, but if I had an
Mm-hmm.
eating disorder and
Mm-hmm.
someone told me that I looked prettier now, all that would do is enable me more.
Yeah.
It would just push that eating disorder further. Luckily, I wasn't in that state. Luckily, I'm in a very good state with my body. I'm in a good place with food. And what she said didn't affect me that way, but it easily could have.
Yeah.
That easily could have triggered something so badly that I could become sick.
Yeah.
It's like your words matter, even if you're projecting, even if there are ways to say certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And like directly telling someone to you should work out, you should lose weight, or telling someone that they look prettier because they lost weight, it's not helpful. They're not helpful comments.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
They're not
Ooh,
helpful
did we
comments.
switch roles today?
I think we did. I can't speak today. They're not
Um,
helpful comments.
yeah, for sure. And it's just like just what drives me crazy is the fact that these people understand the struggle, but yet they have the audacity to go and like put someone else through the same pain that they've probably been through. And just remember, kids, sticks and stones will break your bones, but words can also hurt you.
Yes, words can hurt. We're in a time where do you get sticks and stones thrown at you? I don't think so.
Yeah. No, it's like it's all verbal, like
It's all
typing
verbal.
things out, typing hate, like just be kinder to people and like try to understand them. Like maybe even if you don't understand at first, hear them out. Like hear what they have to say and just try to understand. That's the best you could do. Is just try your hardest to understand others. Okay, so knowing that other people always have something to say, did you tell anyone you were going on a fitness journey?
Yes. Two people or three. My mom, which
Mm-hmm.
she was the first person I told because my mom also, similar to me, had like
Mm-hmm.
gained weight and gone through a fitness journey. Both of my parents are extremely, which is crazy because I got lucky and we talk about our parents and how much we love them all the time. But I got really
Mm-hmm.
lucky in the sense that they never really forced anything on me. They never said anything. It was always outside family members who said things to me. My mom and
Mm-hmm.
dad never commented on my weight. They didn't care. They wanted me to be
Mm-hmm.
happy, which is great. But I did tell my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I told her she was the first person I told. And then along with her, because she would tell my dad if I didn't tell him, because it's what parents do, I guess.
Yeah.
But I ended up telling my dad, and he was kind of like, okay, moderation. And I was like, okay, shut up. Like, I don't need your help.
He's
It's
like
fine.
pulls out the graphs. He's like this
He's like, this is how you do it. And I'm like, no, no, no.
game
No,
plan.
get out. This is not the time. Um, he did try and like make comments here and there, and I was like, shut up. I literally was like, please don't. And then so I also have a cousin who
Mm-hmm.
also went through a similar fitness journey. She had gained weight. She wanted to go through a fitness journey and she did it really well. And she also did it really healthfully. And so I
Mm-hmm.
texted her and I asked her because she also has seen me my entire life and she has seen that I've always struggled with weight. And so I felt comfortable enough to ask her
Mm-hmm.
and ask her how she started.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I really did. I texted her. I was like, "Hey, like this is a little bit of a more serious conversation, but I wanted to ask you how you started." And so she gave me tips and tricks, and we did this thing where we would Snapchat each other our meals every day. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that really helped me because we would Snapchat all three meals to each other, and I would see what she was eating, she would see what I was eating, and so I got a better sense of, okay, this is like normal because
Mm-hmm.
before that, I wasn't really eating I was eating, like, 1 meal a day, but it was, like, a full burrito or, like, a full pizza or, like, just a lot at once. It wasn't
Yeah.
spread out across the day. And so, yeah, I told her, and we did that for about maybe a month or so, and then we
Mm-hmm.
stopped.
Mm-hmm.
But that 1 month really pushed me to keep going. And
Mm-hmm.
so after a while after a while, she kept forgetting, and so I was like, "You know what? I think I'm good. I don't feel like I'm" it because if I ate something and didn't send it to her, it would feel like I was cheating.
Yes, you would feel guilty.
Yeah, and even though obviously I don't believe in like I don't believe in cheat meals, period. I don't think there is
Mm-hmm.
such thing as a cheat meal. Other people view it differently. I just hate the word cheat. I hate using it as a cheat
Mm-hmm.
meal because of the guilt.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the times at the beginning when we were Snapchatting, I didn't want to break that because I didn't want to feel like I was cheating. And then one day she sent me a picture of fries. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
if she's eating fries,
I can eat
it's
fries.
not a cheat meal. And so that's
Uh-huh.
when I started thinking about moderation more, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what changed. But yeah, they were the only three people I really told. No one else
Mm-hmm.
I verbally like told, "Hey, I'm doing this."
Until
Um
they started seeing it.
until people started asking.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I only told three people. How about you, Crystal?
I was kind of like similar where like the main person I told was my mom, and my mom also like really helped me because she also cooked a lot of the meals for me. Like she made me the caldo de pollo, or she made me chicken, or things like that, like healthier meals that I at the time didn't really know how to make. So she helped me a lot, and she told her sister who she was closest with, but that's because like she was kind of there with us as well. So like she knew. Um and I didn't have a problem with that. And then also the only other people I told were my family
Mhm.
and my best friend Ruby. They were the only people that knew that I was going on a fitness journey. And I felt like other times I had told more people because I thought that telling others would hold me like
Responsible.
uh yeah, I would feel responsible or like dedicated enough because I'm like, oh, people are counting on me for
Accountable.
some reason.
Accountable.
Accountable. There we go.
Hmm.
Yeah. Two brains work better than one. So I thought that, but obviously it didn't work. And then when I wasn't able to stick to it, then I would feel guilty. And then because I would feel guilty, I would turn to food. And yeah, it was like this whole cycle. But when I finally went on like the fitness journey that I stuck with, it was I told less people because then I wasn't holding myself accountable for other people. I was only holding myself accountable for me, sort of thing. And then people didn't really know until they started to notice the difference. And then they heard, oh, yeah, Crystal's on a fitness journey. Because obviously at that point, it's kind of hard to deny that you're on a weight loss journey, you know, like you're losing weight and stuff. But something I realized was when that happened, everyone wanted to know the secret. They wanted to know what I was doing to lose weight. And when I told them I started working out, I started to eat better foods, not necessarily giving up everything that I like. It's just moderation. And they would look at me like, yeah, right. What pills are you taking?
Yeah.
What drinks are you taking? I'm
Uh-huh.
like, that's it. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I've tried those things. I've tried doing the weight loss drinks. I've tried doing the weight loss meal plans. None of them worked. But when I did it for me, when I did what I had to do, you know, just literally changing little things, that's when I
Listening
started
to
to see the biggest difference.
listening to your own body.
Yeah, that's what's going to make the biggest difference. And
Hmm.
everyone just wants like whatever's going to be fast, whatever weight loss you can get within 2 weeks, sort of thing. Because nobody likes commitment. Nobody likes going through something that's going to take a long time.
Hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree completely because I've had people ask me also, like, what are you doing? You look so
Mm-hmm.
good. Like, what did you change? When I respond, I tell them nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I literally tell them I changed nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "There's not much to like I do Zumba.
Mm-hmm. That's
There's
it.
no change because I didn't cut out anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
I love my sugar. I did not cut out sugar. I did not cut out carbs. Literally nothing that changed.
Mm-hmm.
So when
Yeah.
people ask me what changed, my answer is, I mean, I hate to be, I'm not trying to gatekeep because
Yeah.
it sounds like I'm trying to gatekeep, but I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I just get so offended that I tell
Yeah.
them nothing changed.
Yeah, it's because of the way that they press you. Because they
Hmm.
really want you to be like, I drank this lemon tea that
Hmm.
helped me lose weight. But it's like, no, it wasn't that. For me, like my secret to weight loss is moderation. It's
Hmm.
learning to just basically not overeat. Because I'm telling you, like when I when I was at my heaviest, it was because I was eating a whole box of pizza. I was eating the big bag of hot Cheetos. I was eating all of it. And then after that, I would have dessert, which was usually like a brownie or something. But then I also had my drink, which was like a large Circle K Coke icy. That was my downfall. Do you guys have Circle K where you live?
No, but 7-Eleven, similar. Yeah.
Similar. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. And it was like a 44-ounce like icy. Man, ices are my weakness.
I love
I'm telling
ices
you.
though. I
Right? They're
love
so
ices. Every movie I go to this day, I still get an icy because
Yep.
moderation, first of all, it
Mhm.
is part of moderation. How often do you go to the movie theater? Probably not as often as, I don't know. I don't go very
Yeah,
often.
not that often, but when I
I
do go.
s- when I do go, I get a slushie every time because I said this earlier, but it's 80/20. It's
Mhm.
it's 80% of your week when you're at home, you're eating fine, but indulge. Don't
Yeah.
stop yourself from indulging. Yeah. Moderation really is the true answer when people ask, but I just
Yeah.
say nothing because I don't I don't
Yeah.
like when people ask me. Yeah, I'm like,
Nothing.
nothing. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's like it's moderation at the end of the day. I mean, you don't have to give up those things you love. Like society makes you think you have to, because that's what diet culture is. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
give up everything you love, you're going to lose weight. Yeah, you are going to lose weight, but when you lose the weight, you still have to keep up those habits, right? Like, what were you doing to lose the weight? Did you maybe, I don't know, like eat a salad every single day for a week? Yeah, you could do that for a week, maybe lose like, I don't know, 5 pounds. Then you lose your 5 pounds at the end of the week. If you want to continue, you have to keep eating salads for the rest of the week,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Like,
So go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you can't eat a salad for, lunch every
A
day for
week.
a week. And then the next week be like, I'm back to normal. I'm eating Burger King every day for the week.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
because I
that's
lost
not
my
how it
five
works.
pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You'll find those 5 pounds again
Also,
if you do that.
yeah, and if you don't, my thing is, if you don't indulge a little bit and you just
Mm-hmm.
restrict yourself, you want it more. You crave it
Yeah,
more.
a
If
hundred
you
percent.
if you say, I'm never gonna have fast, I mean, some people can do it. And kudos to you if you can
I
do
can't.
it. But I cannot live without my Subway tuna sandwich. Okay.
I
I
had one
cannot.
today.
You had one today?
Mhm.
I was thinking about going today. That's
Oh,
insane.
that's your sign. Oh,
That Subway sandwich, if I don't get it every once in a while, next time I go, I might get a foot long and finish the foot long in one sitting because that's how much
yeah.
I'm craving it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I go every once in a while and get like a 6-inch sub,
Mm-hmm.
I won't crave it and like eat that much.
Mm-hmm.
I won't
It's
all of a
like,
sudden like stuff myself with a full foot long anymore.
yes, it's all about your relationship with food, because I mean, like I was saying with like I would eat the whole pizza, then the whole chips and stuff. It was because, I don't know, maybe part of me, like I got to a mental state where I was like, if I don't eat it, I'm never going to be able to have it again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was like the guilt or something, but that's basically what my mindset was when I was doing that. Now, having fixed my relationship with food, it's like I can still eat the pizza. I could still eat the hot Cheetos. I could still have the icy. I could still have the brownie, but it's how much of it I'm eating. So, I mean, just think about it. Instead of eating a whole box of pizza in one sitting, I'm eating 2 slices once a week, sort of thing. So it's not about giving up those things and never eating them again because they're going to make you gain all this weight. It's about finding that balance, finding that good relationship with that food. So it's, you know, eating in moderation. Like that's what's going to make a huge difference. And it might sound crazy. It might sound like a crazy idea because you're so used to that whole diet culture of give up all of these things that you love, but
Two
that are
extremes.
bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But you don't have to. Like, you don't have to give that up. I mean, I lost 70 pounds doing that. I obviously gained weight back because of the whole COVID thing, but now it's like I have a better relationship with food, and I'm also not in a rush this
Mm-hmm.
time around. I'm not in a rush to lose an X amount of weight, which I feel like like my first weight loss journey, I feel like I had good intentions with it. I obviously did it right. I had moderation and all of that, but I was still kind of in that mindset where I have to lose weight to look good, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's more so about the journey of enjoying it and turning it into a lifestyle so that I am able to do this for much longer than a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think moderation really is the word.
Mm-hmm.
Moderation is the best way to put it because I had tried previously, back before this big weight loss journey. And how do I put this? Ever since 2021, I don't even consider it like a journey anymore. It's just, this is my life now.
Yeah.
You
Now it's a
know,
lifestyle. Before it
it's
was
my
a
lifestyle.
journey. Now it's a lifestyle.
Yeah. So previously on my journeys, I would do
Mm-hmm.
the thing where I'm like, no sugar, no carbs, no this, no that, like diet culture, don't eat anything, and I'll lose the weight. Every time I would do that, though, it was so easy to give up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why with the lifestyle change, I didn't want to give anything up because if I gave these things up, I would give up the journey.
Mm-hmm.
And so I couldn't give up sugar. I couldn't give up fast food. Like, and these things aren't bad for you. My body, I want to specifically say that my body just doesn't handle these things well. My metabolism kind of sucks. So when it comes to carbs, my body doesn't it doesn't break down carbs as easily. And
Mhm.
so I know that. And so that's why, because of that, I do eat low carb, but that's not for a diet. That's just
Mhm.
for my body because I
Yeah.
know that's what my body, and I have no issue with it. If I want to go to Olive Garden and get chicken Alfredo pasta, I said almost pizza. Chicken Alfredo pizza would sound bomb though. But if I want a heavy carb meal, I'm not going to stop myself from eating it.
Mhm.
I just know that my body does better without carbs.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just about the choices that you make. And I mean, going back to the whole thing about like being so restrictive, I remember like multiple times starting a fitness journey. I was like, oh, I'm going to start tomorrow and I'm going to give up hot Cheetos. I'm going to give up the pizza. I'm going to give all these things up. And I would start off strong. Like in the morning, I would have myself a good breakfast. But then by like lunchtime, I was like, oh, I want pizza. Oh, I want hot Cheetos sort of thing. And then I would have them and then I would feel guilty about it. Right. It's like that whole cycle thing. But then when I started to realize that I didn't have to give those things up, it was easier for me to keep going because like food addiction is so real.
Mhm.
Like I feel like most people are addicted to food. I mean, junk food. Like we love junk food. We love fast food. It's
Food
like
is so good.
undeniable. It's just so good, right?
Mhm.
But you don't have to give it up. I feel like that's just what I tell everyone is like you don't have to give it up because if you've tried multiple times to lose weight and that's the one thing that has stopped you is food because you feel like you have to give it up, then that's probably where you have to make that change, right? It's like change that mindset. You don't have to give up that food, but just eat it in moderation. Don't overdo it. Like I need my vitamin P weekly.
Vitamin P.
Yep. I need my pizza once a week or else I will be upset. I will not be in the best mood.
You know your body and you
Mhm.
know that that pizza makes you happy
Mhm.
and you're still fueling your body like you said, it's in moderation. It's not like you're eating a whole pizza every day. And
Mhm.
that's why, because your mindset with food is like you're okay,
Mhm.
it makes everything okay.
Mhm.
I really
You know
do
what?
think it's all up here.
It's all in the mind. I mean, that's why like diet culture, they feed off of our insecurities.
Oh
They
yeah.
want us to think that you can do things in a short amount of time, but like that's not really realistic. Or maybe it is possible, but it's not a long-term fix. It's like a quick fix sort of thing. And so what it does is it makes us feel guilty for eating just normal food that everyone else eats, but yet we shouldn't feel guilty because that guilt is what makes us stay stuck in that cycle, right? Like you have that pizza and you feel guilty, so then you eat more pizza. Like I don't
No,
know
you
how to
got it.
yeah, I
You
don't
got
know
it.
how to explain it. Like it's just guilt is what you have to get rid of. You have to switch that mindset and understand that you shouldn't feel guilty for eating food that literally everyone enjoys, but society makes you think that it's wrong. Like it's not wrong.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna get into this a little bit in a different episode coming up. But say there's a skinnier girl
Mhm.
and she eats a whole pizza
Mhm.
and doesn't gain a single pound.
Yeah.
But if you and
And
I eat a slice of pizza,
with our horrible metabolism.
it's a problem. No, well,
Yeah.
it's a problem for society.
Oh yeah, because you'll hear other people say, "Oh, that skinny girl is eating a whole box of pizza. Man, she knows how to put food down. Like, look at her, she loves food." Then maybe if you're slightly a little bit overweight, they're like, "Maybe you shouldn't have that pizza."
Like, oh, you're so unhealthy, it makes sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
it's cool when they do it, when the skinny people do it. But if an overweight person does it, it's gross all of a
Mhm.
sudden. And you shouldn't be doing that. But that's just the way society wants us to think.
And you really shouldn't feel guilty. If you're
Mm-mm.
doing something that you love and you enjoy, why feel guilty?
Mhm.
I just think it's kind of backwards. The cycle is what's backwards
Mhm.
because someone tells you you're eating pizza and it's gross because you're bigger. And
Mhm.
then you feel guilty for eating that pizza, but that probably is going to make you want the pizza more. And so you go
Mhm.
back and you eat more pizza and it becomes this cycle.
Yeah.
And whether you're doing it in secret or in public, you're still basically damaging your mind.
Mhm.
There you go. You're damaging your mind.
You're damaging your mind. And
The guilt is
guilt,
damaging your mind. Yeah.
yeah. So you know how like people say, or and doctors even back this up, that stress makes you gain weight.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like guilt makes you gain weight too. I feel like
Hmm.
it's not talked about as much because I mean, guilt, it's something people can profit off of. If you feel guilty for something, if you feel insecure about it, companies can profit off of you. So they're not going to tell you to not feel guilty for these things.
Moral of the story: don't feel guilty. Moderation
Is key.
is key. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal, you wrote this down. What's something that you gained from your weight loss journey?
So something I gained from my weight loss journey was definitely my newfound love for fitness. Like I just love working out now. And again, it's like that whole like first time it was a journey to lose weight, but this time it's like a lifestyle to just feel better overall. And so with this new fitness journey direction that I'm going in, I feel like it's just made me love the whole healthy lifestyle a little bit better. And I say that in quotation marks because I feel like healthy is sometimes seen as an extreme. Like if you say, "Oh, I'm healthy," they think you're eating salads 24/7 sort of thing, but I'm not.
Healthy is different for everyone.
Mm-hmm. And so my healthy is just basically moderation. It's like I'm not changing anything about my life. I'm just being more thoughtful. I'm,
Mhm.
being more considerate with my body. I'm listening to my body, sort of things. And so I've loved working out so much more. And now do you guys remember how I said my first time when I would get anxious, I would turn to food. Now when I get anxious or I'm feeling down sort of thing, I get my workout in and it makes me feel so good. So it's about turning it's it's the change
Changing
of the
habits.
mind. Yeah,
Yeah.
changing habits, turning bad habits into good new habits, and it will make the world of a difference. But Nyla, I would like to know more about yours since I feel like my story is kind of out there. I still
Hey,
make videos now, but I want to know more about you.
we still want to know. We still want the details of the crystal workouts. But yeah, I do Zumba.
Woo!
And honestly, I used to be embarrassed. I used to not want to talk about it, and I used to hide that I did Zumba actually for a really long time because
Mm-hmm.
when people usually look at Zumba, they associate it with middle-aged women
Mm-hmm.
who are on just trying to lose weight. I started doing Zumba when I was in high school. I went to a high school where we didn't have physical education.
Oh, really?
We did not have PE. And so in ninth grade, we did the pacer, like the mile test, the pacer test. We did all the tests in ninth grade. And if we passed the test, then we didn't have to do physical education.
Ours was the same then. Yeah.
And I played soccer until I was in 10th grade.
Mm-hmm.
But after 10th grade, because some stuff happened, but I couldn't play soccer for the team anymore. And so I wanted to still do something that was physically active because I think, again, this was the time when my family kept saying stuff to me. And so I just felt like the need to go do something physically active. And
Mm-hmm.
my mom decided, and my mom's been doing Zumba. My mom's an OG. She's been doing Zumba since I was a little kid.
Ooh.
Yeah, my mom's my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't
Wow.
been a point in my life where my mom hasn't been doing Zumba. Like that is my mom's thing.
For her consistency with that.
Yeah. And so she started taking me with her to the gym to do Zumba. And at first, I was embarrassed. So I would go run on the treadmill instead, but I don't like running. So I was like, why am I doing this? And so I started doing Zumba. And at first, I could not.
Mm-hmm.
After like 5-10 minutes, I would be out of breath in the corner getting water. And I was in the back corner of the class. I didn't want anyone to know who my mom was, front and center. So I didn't want anyone to know that was my mom. And so I would stay all the way in the back. I would meet her outside after class because I was like, we are not the same.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to college, and that's when I kind of started doing more functional strength training.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed functional strength training. The only issue was I was functional strength training with boys, and boys can lift a lot more weight than I can.
Oh yeah.
And so it didn't, first of all, my friend, this is a funny story.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the gym with my friend one time, and this was his and I first time at the gym. And I was like, oh, I'll do whatever you do. Like, I just need you to help, like, keep me accountable. I'm going with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I happened to go on his chest day. And I
Uh-oh.
looked at him and I was like, you think I need to do chest? Like, you think chest day is the day I want to do? I was like, I'm not gonna like the first day I'm lifting weights, I'm not gonna do chest day. That's when I started doing Zumba at my college gym.
Mhm.
But what would happen is, and this sucks, but midterms, finals, once school got tough, I would stop going and I would just
Mhm.
focus on studying. And so then that's when again, I wasn't consistent back then.
Mhm.
2020 happened. We're in a pandemic. There are a plethora of online Zoom classes that
Mhm.
are Zumba classes, and my mom has the entire list because Zumba queen.
She's got the
And
hookup.
yeah, and so she starts sending me links, and
Mhm.
so I'm still in college, and I'm in my bedroom doing Zumba, and then I think when I came back home, that's when it hit. My mom was doing it every day, and so I just kept doing it
Mhm.
with her. So I started doing Zumba and then I started mixing in strength training. So if I
Mhm.
do an hour of cardio, yeah,
I'm raising my hand because I want to ask a question for anybody that's in college right now. How was it doing the Zumba did you do it in your dorm or?
freshman year of college, freshman 15, I didn't work
Mhm.
out at all.
Mhm.
Sophomore year, I was back on this whole weight loss mindset. And so I did Zumba on campus. There was Zumba classes.
Okay.
And so I started taking classes on campus, but I would go by myself. I would be in the back corner. I think that was
Mhm.
consistent because I was embarrassed of multiple different things. And I think that has to do with confidence. I think that had to do with my journey. And I think that also had to do with just I thought Zumba was embarrassing for a really long time.
Mhm.
Not embarrassed about it now. Very, very proud. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I went during college and it was actually really interesting because there were a lot of people there.
Mhm.
The instructors were students, so everyone who was there were also students. A lot of the women's soccer team, for some reason,
Mhm.
they would be in the Zumba classes. We also had people from off campus come, like teachers would come, and
Mhm.
so it was kind of a community. And
Mhm.
so I did it in person for 1 year, and then once COVID hit, I did it online in my room. We were renting a house back then.
Okay. Did you
Yeah.
have your own room or did you share?
I had my own room at that point. I
Okay, because
don't
that's
think
what I
I
was
would have done it.
curious.
Yeah, I don't think I would have done it because I shared rooms before that. I don't think I would have
Uh-huh.
done it if I shared a room.
Yeah. You know what I used to do when I was in college is I wouldn't work out, but like I would do like dancing in the room. But obviously I shared a room with someone else. And so I would learn their schedule so I knew when they were gonna be away and they were gonna be in class and stuff. And I was like, okay, I got this time. I could do my little dancey dance in here. So I feel like that's what helped me like during college time because I know it can be really hard, especially like with the whole freshman 15 thing. It like really messes with you and it's kind of like how do I find that time to work out, how do I find that time to still enjoy time with friends, and how do I find my own time outside of those people because I know it can be embarrassing or it can feel very uncomfortable. So it's just kind of like I guess like planning it out is
Mhm.
what's going to help you. It's figuring out other people's schedules so that if you are embarrassed about it you can find what works best for you when you can have that time alone because I know it's hard to find alone time in college.
Yeah, I love doing Zumba. That is my
Mm-hmm.
thing. I do still like functional strength training. I like doing the little weights, the 8 pounds, the 10 pounds.
Yeah, those are good for toning.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
like,
a lot of people kind of look down on little weights, but it's like they're still pretty powerful.
yeah, I like the toning. I'm getting used to that. That's a whole new thing that I'm
Hmm.
trying more consistently this year, but Zumba's my thing. I love
Hmm.
Zumba. But Crystal, I know
Yes.
you do the weighted workouts. So what are some of your favorite workouts to do?
Yes. So I now like doing a lot more like hit workouts, strength training, toning workouts. My first journey I ever went on, I was doing like strictly more cardio. And then once I started to lose the weight, then I started to incorporate more of like the whole um, using weights into it. And the reason why is because I feel like if you start off, like let's say you're barely starting off on a fitness journey and you start off just doing weights, I feel like it's going to be a lot harder on you and you're more likely to give up. I feel like this is just from personal experience. So, starting with cardio is what's going to help you see that difference a little bit sooner, and you're going to lose more weight faster because when using weights, you're also gaining muscle. And so that can really mess with you because you're not losing weight. Maybe you're gaining weight, but you have to remember you're also gaining muscle, sort of thing. So that's why I always say start off with cardio. Once you kind of start to see a difference, then start incorporating the weights. But I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a physical trainer. So don't take my advice as professional advice. But anyways, I like the strength training now. I feel like it just makes me feel stronger. It does mess with me. This is why I say it, that it does mess with me now, because like sometimes I'll get on the scale and I don't see a change in the weight, but I know I feel better. Like physically, mentally, emotionally, I feel much better. But then I look at the weight and I'm like, am I wasting my time here? Because I'm not seeing a difference, sort of thing. But then I remember, like, I'm also gaining muscle, and where muscle is heavier, it's leaner. It's not gonna make you look more overweight, sort of thing. So that's why I feel like I look better, but I on the scale I don't weigh less, sort of thing. So it messes with my mind a lot, but I love it. I love feeling stronger. And I do incorporate cardio every now and then, obviously, for like the weight loss, but strength training, toning, that's my thing nowadays. But I did actually want to ask you, Nyla, um, for me personally, I feel like this is something that kind of took me by surprise. But starting off on our weight loss journey, we struggled a lot to work out. And so there was that guilt behind not working out. But now we both clearly love working out. Obviously, we have our own type of workouts that we enjoy. But now, if I don't work out, I feel guilty for not working out. Do you experience the same feeling?
1000%. Literally this past weekend. So,
Mm-hmm.
as I mentioned earlier, I work out typically 5 to 6 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
It's my personal
Choice.
time.
You like it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's my personal choice. I don't think you have to work out a certain amount of days a week. I
Mm-hmm.
started off working out 4 days a week, 3 days a
Mm-hmm.
week. So to
Mm-hmm.
be at 6 now, kind of insane, but I love it. Um, and so this past weekend, I usually work out Friday and Saturday, but I
Mm-hmm.
had things to do, and so I was unable to work out on Friday. I was unable to work out on Saturday, and honestly, kind of hurt me a little bit. And
Mm-hmm.
so yesterday, wanted to go extra hard because I felt guilt for missing those 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, yesterday I didn't really go extra hard. I just conveniently had two classes, so that was fun. But
Mm-hmm.
I do feel guilty now when I don't work out. And I think it also comes again back with the you shouldn't feel guilty part.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, when I feel bad for missing those workouts, I'm not mad at myself for missing
Mm-hmm.
workouts. I never get pissed off at myself. I'm never upset at myself. I'm not the type of person who's like, oh, if I know I'm going to miss this later on, I have to like fill this
Put it,
void. I have
yeah.
to, I don't feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a slight little guilt where I'm like, man, I could have worked out. It's
Mm-hmm.
also this is kind of messed up, but sometimes if people ask me to hang out and it's on a weekday, I'll just say no
So you
because
can work out.
I don't want to miss my workout.
Yes.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that's toxic, but I really don't want to miss my workout.
I think it just depends how you look at it. Cause I mean, I'm the same way. Like, I used to like fit my workouts according to everything else. So, like, if people ask me to hang out, then I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna hang out with people at this
At
time.
this
Then
time,
I'm gonna work
yeah.
out in the morning and work in the afternoon, like that sort of thing. But now it's like I fit people around my workout schedule because it's like my workout is my me time that I need
Yeah.
to work out. It's like it's going to make me feel good, but to add to that, because I'm so used to working out, Monday through Friday and then on Sunday or however many days I work out, it makes me feel guilty if I miss it. Cause it's almost now it's kind of like, how when you hang out with a friend, but then you kind of cancel on them sort of thing and you feel really guilty about it. Like that's how it is with working out. Now it's like I canceled on myself.
No, it's actually again, I'm so sorry if it's toxic, but I feel more guilty missing a
Canceling.
workout
Yeah.
than I do canceling on a friend.
On people, yeah. That's why I feel like I'm canceling on myself when I do that.
Ooh, we just exposed ourselves.
I know our friends are like, now they're gonna be text when they text us to hang out. We're like, no, they're gonna be like, is it because you're working out?
No, actually, I'm so sorry. Oh my God,
But
I'm
they
so
should
sorry.
understand though. If they're good friends, they're gonna understand.
My thing is it's Zumba, and
Mhm.
because my mom pays for the membership, especially on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm not missing those classes
Yeah,
because
get your money's worth.
we're paying for a membership. I'm not missing those. But like my friend invited me to hang out on Friday. I checked in
Mhm.
with myself mentally. I said, "You know what? I can miss today. I will go hang
Mhm.
out with a friend." And I went. So it's not necessarily like a I have to work out. I'm never going to hang
Mhm.
out with my friends thing. It's just I like working out so much that it does feel guilty to miss it.
Yeah, it really does. I'm in a relationship with working out. But yeah. No,
That is my partner is Zumba.
mhm. Yeah, it can be a little toxic at times, but it's okay. Still love it.
And
um
we could go in so much more. I feel like we say this every single time, but the conversation is not over.
it's not, especially with these more like serious topics. I feel like I mean, we're kind of summarizing everything down to 1 hour or less. Clearly for us, not less than an hour because
No,
we
it's
talk a
always
lot.
over an hour.
But yeah, it's like the way that we could just segue into so many different topics off of everything that we talked about, like the way that we could just kind of talk about diet culture, the way we could talk about guilt alone, or all of these different things. There's so much more that can be said. And just remember, we're summarizing, we're only speaking for ourselves, we're not speaking for everyone, we're sharing our own personal experience, and we're not stating these things as fact. You have to remember, again, we're not professionals, we're just someone who's been through it, sort of thing. And so that's just a little disclaimer, so that anyone that's listening, because have something mean to say, it's us, we're talking about us, we're not telling you guys that you should be doing it this way. We're just sharing what we've learned from someone who's been through it.
Yeah.
Um,
We're just sharing our journeys. I
mhm,
personally, when I first came across Crystal's video, that is linked below.
mhm,
Uh, when I first came across that video, I finally felt seen. I finally felt like there was
mhm,
someone who understood me.
mhm,
And mind you, I didn't find your video until I was well into my weight loss journey. Like it wasn't something that I had been looking up. It just popped up one day and I was like, "Oh,
mhm.
what's this? Let me click on this."
Yeah.
And so I think we're just here to share our journeys, to like both of our journeys, and hopefully again more people can relate to us, and we're sharing something that hasn't been said on the internet before, or something
Mhm,
that's not as much represented on the internet, because a lot of times when you look up fitness journeys and people talking about it's a lot different than what we talked about today.
mhm. Yeah, there's something for everyone out there, and if this resonates with you, then it makes us happy. But if
Yeah.
it doesn't resonate with you, there's plenty of other videos out there that you can also check out. But yeah, we're so grateful for you guys for taking the time to listen to us share our stories. And you should, at this point, hopefully be subscribed, because there's plenty more that we're going to be talking about. I mean, just in this video alone, there's so many different topics that we've already like written down that we plan to like talk about and make their own episode on it. So subscribe, turn on those post notifications, follow us on our socials, follow us on Spotify if you like listening instead of watching. We're also on Google Podcasts, we're on Anchor. And yeah, thank you guys again for listening to us.
Yeah, and know that whatever you're doing in life, no matter what it is, whether it's your fitness journey, whether it's your work journey, whether it's just regular life, as long as you're happy and you're doing it for yourself, that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And thank you, Nyla, for joining me on my podcast today and for allowing me to interview you.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like I talked a lot, so
I loved it.
if the
I loved hearing you
viewers
talk more.
if the viewers feel like it's I carried this, I didn't have a
You did
choice.
carry, though.
I
You
didn't have a
did
choice.
carry. Go,
Cry
you.
Crystal kept asking me questions, and I was like, "Crystal, can you talk?" And Crystal's like, "I have a
Listen.
whole channel." And I was like,
Yeah,
"Crystal, please, I don't want to talk."
my story is out there. I want to hear your story. I want your voice to be heard.
Well, thank you for making the space for me to share my story. But if you guys do want to check out Crystal, obviously all of our socials are linked below, but we'll have that fitness journey specifically episode. We'll have that fitness journey video linked below, and we'll
Mhm.
also have her channel where she talks about her fitness journey and just talks about life. It's a great channel.
Oh,
If you
thank
like this
you.
stuff, you'll like her channel. And if you're coming from her channel, thank you because you guys are like literally the homies.
Thank you guys. Shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome.
Thank you for listening. We really appreciate everyone who's taken out their time. Make sure you check out our YouTube, check out our socials, and everything will be linked in our description of this video. Also, just wanted to say new episodes out Wednesdays at 6 a.m. And lastly, sorry for the spam.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.
See you later.